December 14, 1972, Eugene Cernan, commander of Apollo 17, stood alone on the moon. He left humanity's last footprints on another world, sharing a hope that we'd soon return. But as he climbed back into the lunar module, an era quietly ended. The world had watched in awe as we walked on the moon, 6 times. Dreams of lunar cities and cosmic futures filled imaginations. Yet, after Apollo, we never went back. Why? Not because of conspiracies or alien secrets, but because of politics and money. The Apollo missions were a Cold War spectacle, not just a quest for knowledge. When the political rivalry faded, so did the will to continue. The story of why we left the moon is really the story of why we went. A tale of competition, not curiosity. For over 50 years, no human has left low Earth orbit. Generations have grown up with the moon as a memory, not a destination. The question remains, why did we stop? The answer is simpler, and more human than we might think. In the 1960s, the US and Soviet Union battled for global dominance, not with weapons, but with technology. Space became the ultimate stage. Sputnik's launch shocked America, igniting the space race. President Kennedy set the moon as the finish line, not for science, but to prove American superiority. In 1969, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin planted the flag. The US had won. With victory achieved, the urgency vanished. Apollo's later missions were seen as expensive reruns. Political support faded, the public's attention shifted to problems at home. Planned missions, Apollo 18, 19, and 20, were cancelled. Saturn V rockets became museum pieces. The adventure ended, not with failure, but with quiet indifference. The moon was conquered, but the drive to return was gone. The greatest adventure in human history was quietly retired. The cosmic dream gave way to earthly realities. The race was over, and so was our journey to the moon. Apollo cost $25 billion in the 1960s, over $280 billion today. At its peak, NASA claimed over 4% of the federal budget, justified by Cold War urgency. Once the race was won, funding plummeted. By the mid-1970s, NASA's budget was less than 1%. Today, it's a fraction of that. The moon became unaffordable, and priorities shifted to earthly concerns. Apollo was also dangerous. Astronauts risked their lives on every mission. Apollo 13's near disaster reminded the world how perilous space could be. The risks and costs became harder to justify without the political prize. The dream faded, replaced by caution and budget cuts. The moon was left behind, not because we couldn't go, but because we chose not to pay the price. The era of moonshots ended as quickly as it began. The adventure was over, for now. The cost of a dream was simply too high. With the moon out of reach, NASA turned its focus closer to home, low Earth orbit. The space shuttle was born, a reusable vehicle to make spaceflight routine. For 3 decades, shuttles launched satellites, repaired the Hubble, and built the International Space Station. The ISS became a symbol of global cooperation, a permanent outpost in space. Astronauts lived and worked in orbit, learning how humans adapt to space. Thousands of experiments were conducted, but always within a few hours of Earth. The moon became a distant memory. This era taught us how to survive in space and fostered international partnerships. The shuttle and ISS laid the groundwork for future exploration. But for dreamers, it felt like a long pause. We circled our planet, waiting for the next leap. The promise of Apollo lingered, waiting to be rekindled. The grand adventure was on hold. Now, the pause is ending. NASA's Artemis program aims to return humans to the moon, this time to stay. The plan: build a sustainable presence with a lunar base and a space station in lunar orbit. Artemis is a global effort, involving commercial companies and international partners. The goal is to learn how to live off Earth, using lunar resources to prepare for Mars. The moon is our stepping stone to the solar system. Soon, new footprints will mark the lunar dust. But the old questions remain. Is it worth the cost and risk? In a world full of challenges, can we afford to dream big? The answer: we can't afford not to. Exploration inspires, unites, and drives us forward. The journey back to the moon is a journey back to our future. The next chapter of human adventure is about to begin.